Welcome back to the Tuck Shop Podcast, everybody. Spring 2025 term certainly is kicking off with quite a little bit of a cold spell. Right, David?
Spring. Yeah, I think it's 10 today.
It is currently 16 as we record, with a low of 9 and a wind chill of negative 12.
Yeah. Why don't we just market it what it is and call it winter term?
I'm on board with
Spring term.
But it's been good. How was your break?
My break was good. A little longer than I wanted it to be, but got some housekeeping done, I guess, over the break.
Okay.
So, which I think will play into my next little piece, my little pre-piece here is that I want to talk a little bit about mountain cat couples.
Okay, yeah. So we did good. Explain mountain cat couples
okay.
and kind of why it's important to you now.
Yeah, right. So mountain cat couples, we started this a couple of years ago, and it's around Valentine's Day, and it's this weird thing, phenomena here at UPJ. And it's a lot of individuals come as individuals and leave as couples and leave as married. So what we like to do is highlight during the holiday of love in February. So what we're looking for, and we did it the last 2 years, we put out a call for anyone that may have met their partner or significant other here at University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown, and then ended up becoming a couple in wedlock. So if that's the case, I know in the last couple of years, we had 15 one year. I think we had almost 30 last year. We will highlight every single one of those couples during the week of February 10th. The deadline on that's February 7th. So I want to make it real kind of what we're looking for. You can see it. It's on the Facebook page and it's on the LinkedIn page. We're really interested in short story of how you met, where you met, what your maiden name was, the year you met, and your graduation year. And it's really cool. Send us photos if you have photos. Because we like to post those up. My bit of housekeeping, I guess, over the holiday, it extended a little bit, was 30-some years ago, I met an individual here at Pitt Johnstown. We dated on and off for the past 40 years and got engaged about 8 years ago. Over the holiday, we became married. So now we are officially a mountain cat couple, as in full disclosure, as Matt and his lovely wife.
We don't qualify.
Why don't you qualify?
We knew each other before UPJ.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the one thing that you have about UPJ that I don't.
So you're like a Richland couple.
Geistown,
a new feature, Geistown couple.
But no, we don't actually technically qualify, Sarah.
But you both went to school here, which is
did.
kind of cool. We both met, right? You met prior, but
Yep.
Let's hope that Pitt Johnstown solidified that, put you over the edge to say, look, let's take the
still
plunge.
there yet.
So
I just got off the phone with her about 20 minutes ago.
So there you go.
Hasn't kicked me out yet into the cold.
There you go, and it's 16. So today's not time to be kicked out into the cold.
Pretty
would
much.
imagine.
No, but if anyone's interested in hearing more, Denise, who was the other half of your mountain cat
Denise
couple,
Jennings
has been on this show
Yes.
and talked about an amazing story about the Underground Railroad
Correct.
project she worked with. So if you like that, go back and hear that. And she told a couple David stories on that episode as well. So
I think she did.
I know she did.
Fully, what's the word I'm looking for? Endorsed. As
But,
if I had a choice.
No, I was good. I was excited to see that. I was appreciative you didn't invite me because I don't want to go anywhere. So thank you.
Invites in the mail.
Cool. I like it. That's what I do.
But yeah, so there's that in the last 2 years we found it to be pretty popular. What I'd like to see, wouldn't it be cool when we talk about reunions to bring back all those couples or couples that were married at Whaley Chapel for some sort of reunion? I don't think that if we planned something, it would be in February around Valentine's Day. Tendency to weather here at Pitt Johnstown
we need a little more global warming for that to
isn't very conducive
make it worthwhile.
To warming hearts. But that would be neat if maybe down the road we look to do some sort of get together and kind of people bring back their families, because it's an interesting thing that I know Dr. Spector often jokes when I give him the mountain cat couples. He asks if we're due a finder's fee. Or some sort of what is it? I don't know what some of those dating sites are out there.
Yeah, it's like academic speed dating.
Yeah, right. Unless you're on the 6-year plan where you can take a little bit longer to really get to know the person.
It's the leisurely speed dating.
Right. So that's currently happening. So look on our Facebook page, on the LinkedIn. Send your story to DGJ the number 7 at pitt.edu. The other thing also, right around Valentine's Day, February 14th and 15th, we're also doing, again for the third year, our Pitt Winterfest, our UPJ Pitt Johnstown Winterfest. That's Friday, February 14th. Wrestlers will be taking on Gannon at 7 o'clock. Between 8 and 10, athletic alumni and guest reception. Those are always pretty popular. Saturday the 15th, Friends and Family Day at Pitt Johnstown from 11 to 5. No need to register for that. That is free. Inflatables, bounce houses, open swim, snacks throughout the day. We'll also be doing an alumni hospitality room. 1 o'clock women's basketball take on Slippery Rock. 5 o'clock men's basketball take on Slippery Rock. Not the same team, but the men's will play the men's. The women will play the women. No chance for any kind of dating there, I don't think. But again, the thing that we're bringing back that was rather popular last year was 5 to 6:30. The Alumni Association will again do an outside bonfire along with brews and barbecue. There will be a fee for that. So keep an eye. There's a fee for the reception on Friday, and then for the bonfire on Saturday. Keep an eye on our social media. The website, the registration site is like 99% ready to go.
Yeah.
We just got to do the technical, make sure that it doesn't go to some faraway place and we don't see the funds coming here. So keep an eye out for that. Also, I know there's some rumor we're looking at possibly to have live entertainment at this year, which we did not have last year. It's kind of a neat, we've done it for the last 3 years. It's kind of a neat get together when it's cold and you come up, you can bounce, you can swim, or you just grab a brew and grab a barbecue and hang out. We are guaranteeing again, Matt, and I'll let you endorse this, a spectacular bonfire experience again as we had last year.
It is one of those memories that's certainly never going to stop haunting me, in a good way. No, it was a lot of fun, and it's a really cool event to kind of get out to, and it's neat that it's one of those nice things that's kind of bridges that gap between the UPJ community and the wider community in the area as well. So I think that's a great way to.
Yeah. You don't have to be an alum to participate.
No, you don't have to.
It's open to the community. We just ask that you register for the Friday night and for the Saturday evening. During the day on Saturday, that's completely open. So bring the kids, bring the grandchildren. There'll be plenty, like I said, an alumni hospitality room. Stop by, chat. We always have the ever popular yearbooks, where a lot of people kind of need to find yourself in one of those 30-some yearbooks that are on the tables.
We had to talk. We haven't talked yet, but I think we had good success as a kind of a test run last year, and then certainly with the education event last fall. Maybe do the live show, do a show live from the event
that
as
would
well.
be neat. Yeah,
that kind of thing. So set up in the pool, and just
at the bonfire.
Just at the bond. No, we don't want to lose the equipment, but just get floaties and just float around the pool, record the show.
It's a must see.
But no, it's going to be a great event. So make sure you pay attention to all the social media out there, and get registered for the things you need to get registered for. And if those don't apply to you, come on in and for anything that we're offering. It's
Absolutely.
a really cool event. The other thing that we have out there on all the alumni social media, so the LinkedIn and so forth, is it is the time of year where we do a call for nominations for our board of directors for the alumni. So that's out there. If you can self-nominate or so forth. You have to be able to attend meetings, commit to events, and so forth. But that is out there as well if you want to get more involved. Or even if you say, you know what, I don't want to do a full board seat, but I want to be involved in something else. I want to help plan something, maybe the golf tournament, or be involved. Just send us a note, myself or David, and help and is always appreciated as we try to get these events going and do the work that we do to kind of connect our alumni back together and back to campus.
It's a lot of fun. It's that charge, whether, we just did an alumni gathering where our wrestlers took on the Panther wrestlers. We talked about that a little bit earlier. And it's just neat whenever you're at one of these events and you see old friends coming in and not either someone they've saw last week or someone they haven't seen in years. That's kind of the fun charge out of it. And all of these events give that opportunity. And I know we'll talk, in later shows, some of the other things. We're not done for the year in February. There's some other things coming up further down the road. But good time whether you're working on a committee or showing up for one of the events.
Always worth the time to come out and support us and share the information, share the webpage, share the podcast, all this stuff. And we appreciate those of you who continue to tune in and spend time with us each week. We are back and we are cold, but we're going to have some fun with this as we continue on and complete our second academic year of doing this show.
Yeah. Speaking of cold weather, interesting. I'm just going to throw it out. We do the question of the week, and yesterday's question on a Monday on the Alumni Association Facebook page was, I think, something tips for surviving a UPJ winter. There were some pretty interesting tips, everything from how to stay warm to how to navigate a vehicle.
I'm looking. Keep your gas tank
campus.
full.
Yeah.
Get a good battery for your car.
I think one of my favorites was to the bottom, where it says something the effect of, what is it? Get a good coat, wear long pants, short season is over.
Don't be afraid of wear hats and gloves and pants. Short season is over. But
we asked participation on that also.
Yeah, so no, tips, always give
yeah.
nice to see the opinions and people kind of reminiscing about the time as well. And I always laugh because you and I have done a good number of campus tours and stuff in the summer where it can get hot and humid.
Oh yeah, it's high 60 degrees around here.
Nope. So, it's great. We're glad to be back. Glad to have
Absolutely.
you back with us. And we have a great interview for you today as well. I talked a little bit before our Christmas break and was able to throw together a great interview with a very recent grad, actually last spring. Madi Walker graduated from our business and enterprise department and had was able to come in and spend about almost an hour with me. And I got a big chunk of that conversation we had about her time here, her time, what she's doing now, her time with Disney, all kind of cool stuff. So let's go hear what Madi has to say. All right, I'm excited this week to welcome back onto campus Madi Walker.
Hello.
Hi, Madi.
Hi.
You graduated in spring of 2024.
I sure did.
So a couple months away from being a year out.
I know. Yeah. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy past few months, but yeah.
We're going to talk about some of the stuff that you do because it's kind of a really neat kind of concept.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your time here first.
Yeah.
What did you graduate with a degree in?
I graduated with a degree in marketing, a degree in information systems, and a minor in communications. A laundry list.
Yeah, how did you develop a laundry list? Because some people just, and it's not uncommon, but some people always just, I'm going to do my one thing and that's it.
I love to do so many things all at the same time, is basically the gist of it, and everything fell into place so easily. I'm not going to lie to you. Because information systems and marketing are in the same division, so a lot of their core classes are the same, a lot of their electives are the same. And then while communications is not technically in business and enterprise, a lot of the marketing electives are communications classes. So everything merged too perfectly for this. So I didn't have to do any extra semesters. I graduated my allotted 4 years and got everything done. Yeah, I know. It took a lot of perfect planning. I had a lot of highlighters and spreadsheets to figure it out, and it worked out really well. So,
well, that is a big part of how these things kind of come together. And
Definitely.
Everyone who's an alum who's listening knows that Sometimes it's, hey, that one class isn't offered at the run term you need, or that inconvenient time. It's like, do I really want to take it at 8 o'clock in the morning?
I'm looking at you, Accounting 101, 8 in the morning.
That, oh my God, that would be.
I loved it. The professor, Sherwood, amazing. I'm still connected with her, but driving up here, because I commuted at that point, driving up here for an 8 a.m. class was killer.
What brought you to Pitt originally?
I am from here. I'm from the area. And Pitt was actually like my third or fourth choice on my list because I wanted to go to IUP.
Okay.
Don't ask me why, but I wanted to go to IUP. And then monetarily, everything fell perfectly into place here. And we did a tour of the campus. I was like, I don't think I'm going to go here. And now I look back on that so fondly because the campus just felt so homey and nice. And now I am bleeding blue and gold constantly.
And you felt that during the tour, or did it come? You felt that?
I felt really good on the tour. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to go. I don't know if this is it, because at that point I was really connected to IUP. But I was like, this feels really nice. It feels like home because it kind of is. And then once I got here, I was like, man, this is great. Like, I'm glad that I went with Pitt. You know what I mean?
Because you would have toured in probably about 2019.
Correct. I toured pre-pandemic.
And then started
in pandemic. Yeah, because I graduated high school 2020. So my high school graduation was masked 6 feet apart on the football field. And then immediately started here in the pandemic.
And I'm trying to think back. I guess by fall of 2020, we would have been
we were online.
Oh, it was all online.
My first semester was all online. My second semester was hybrid if the professor wanted to. My third semester was encouraged to go back in person. By the time it was second semester, sophomore year, everybody was pretty much back in the swing of things like normal.
So you had that fun experience of, this is great, I love this campus, it's very homey, see you in a year and a half.
Basically, that's pretty much what it was like. So to get into the weeds with things here, I feel like I was skunked 2 years because I was at home for 2 of them. So
got a little bit of a change.
Yeah.
When you were looking at these schools, whether it's IUP or here at UPJ, did you know business?
I was originally a biology major.
Okay, this is good, because a lot of people, including myself, start here in different fields. What led you to biology? What made you say, I love biology, and then what made you say, no?
So Pitt was going to be, my first year, Pitt was going to be my transfer, do your baseline credits, and then transfer to IUP for nutrition. That was the plan. Because I went to culinary school during high school. So I was like, I'm going to do nutrition. I came in, did 1 semester of bio, and hated it. Literally hated it so much. So I did 2 semesters undeclared.
Okay. And
then I was like, okay, marketing sounds fun. I'm a creative person. I feel like I could do marketing. And then, I guess the way that it went was, got into marketing. There's the whole section of classes that you have to take, the intros from every course. And then I was introduced to Professor Stouffer and took his intro class. And I was like, I think I need to be there. I think I need to be in that. Realized how much I loved computers and everything in that realm, and added it as another degree.
Everyone's path is fairly unique, but you see these little similarities, and there's a lot of people who think they're... And that's a hard thing when you don't know what you want to...
It was scary.
There's so many jobs, and we're going to talk about what you're doing now, that don't come up on that career day in high school or middle school. What do you... Teacher, yes.
Yeah.
That's some of those kind of, hey, this is a very defined kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's so many that aren't.
And for somebody who is super into planning and very analytical in that sense, and was kind of pressured, I would say, to have my crap together, being undeclared and not knowing what I wanted to do, even whenever I was declared with 2 majors and a minor, still not totally knowing what I wanted to do, it was terrifying.
I'm probably a good quarter of a century older than you. I still don't know what I want to do. That's the big dirty secret.
And I feel like that's a common theme now from everybody that I've talked to post graduation who are like, I've been at this company for X amount of years and I still have no idea what I'm doing. And that makes me feel reassured. So I'll take what I can get.
Nice. So you get everything lined up. You kind of go put those pieces together. But you had some really interesting opportunities while you were a student.
I did, yeah.
Because you talked a good bit when you were my star student in my class about your time in Florida.
Yes, I'm such a yapper, yeah. I had a lot of really, really good experiences, and I guess I'll leave the best, quote-unquote, best one for last. I did a lot of extracurriculars on campus, so clubs and whatnot, choir, business club president, etc., etc. And then it came to internships. I did a semester with Gallagher Dairy as their marketing IS girl. Loved that because my dad has worked there forever, so I got to directly help him there. So that internship was a lot of fun. I did social media for the athletic department, which was super cool because I got to do that in tandem with my best friend who was helping me with it, so that was great. And then I went to Disney for 3.5 months, and that was the best summer of my life. I was part of the Disney College program post-pandemic, and I love it.
Let's talk a little bit about, for those who don't know, you just didn't go to Disney and spend 3 months down there running around.
It was an extensive process.
What is their college program?
The Disney College program is so in-class learning. So you have the opportunity to sit in classes with experts in different fields or talk to different people who've had their entire career at Disney who do really important things at Disney. There are specific teachers there that just teach the students in this college program different things in the classroom. And then at the same time, you're both living there and working there. So I lived on property. I was about a 10-minute drive from the Tree of Life, which was really cool. And like we stayed in this huge campus with all of these other students, and I had 3 roommates, which is a new thing for me. And then you work at the same time and you earn a paycheck and you pay like your Disney rent with your Disney paycheck and you live there and work there.
It's a Disney company town?
Basically, like it's like a nuclear town, but it's all Disney students. It's all people who work somewhere on property, all making money and then paying it back to Disney. But I worked at Galaxy's Edge in the merchandise department and got promoted halfway through to work still merchandise, but I worked in one of the like more higher end places. So it was one of our more expensive products where you go and build droids with families. So I got to build droids with little kids and their families for 2.5 months and get to learn things and meet Disney execs and do all of that cool stuff in 3.5 months. And the only reason I came home was UPJ. That was it.
Describe why.
I had 1 more semester left. The money was right. My friends were here. I had an apartment that I was paying for here while I was paying Disney for their rent. I was paying twice. It just needed to happen, and I loved my school so much that I needed to come and finish here.
Would they have let you stay?
I would have worked full-time for them. I would have transitioned from what they call CP to part-time full-time and worked somewhere else in the park. I could have worked my way up into management. I could have transitioned from there to the corporate side if I wanted to, which I wanted to. I could have completed my career there if I wanted to stay. And the goal is to get back to that point in time. But it felt right to come back to UPJ and finish out because I was so close to being done, you know? And I really like it in this. I like Pitt a lot. Basically, is what I'm saying.
I'm glad to hear that. Excuse me. So you come back, you wrap up this term, you graduate, and
Yes.
you're done. And then during that period of time, graduation, when did you start looking out in the world saying, okay, I'm now back, I'm at UPJ, I'm going to be done in 4 months or 8 months, and the world's coming at me.
It sure is. So what my original plan was as soon as I got back from Disney, I did the first semester pretty much like normal. And then in December, January, I was like, okay, I need to get back to Disney stat. So I put out over 50 applications for a number of professional internships, which is the step up from CP. So I put in all of these applications, did an interview or two, and didn't get anywhere with it, which was very disappointing. Very disappointing for me. So I was like, okay, it's time to look elsewhere. So I think in like late March or so, I started sending out applications that are more realistic, quote unquote, realistic, and ended up doing a ton of interviews. I had pretty much every application that I put for. I feel like I'm the exception because this doesn't really happen these days. I put in a handful of applications, got back interview notices for all of them, did a bunch of interviews. Wow. Yeah, I feel very lucky in that because that doesn't really happen these days. Like I know a bunch of my own peers, like people I did classes with who put out hundreds of applications and didn't hear anything back. I don't know what the key is because I was just...
You have some kind of magic you're going to bottle and sell while you're on campus?
Apparently, I need to do that. That's a good business idea, but I don't even know what the product is because I have no idea how that happened. But the position that I ended up going with, I didn't apply for until the beginning of April.
Okay.
Because it was the business club, our business forum event, which is like the biggest event that we do every year. And we bring in a bunch of panel guests. It's like a suit and tie event. And we ask them questions and the students get to ask them a bunch of questions. And it's a great place to network. And Laura Johnson, another UPJ alum, another marketing UPJ alum, who worked at Numerator, was there. And I was already kind of friends with her. I already was in touch with what Numerator was because she had presented before. And I was like, do you know anything about Numerator hiring? And she was like, I think I have something that would work for you. And she emailed me the job application, sent me a link to like her referral link. I applied. And 4 interviews later, here I sit.
Wow. 4.
Yeah.
That can be a process. But that also highlights a lot of people's experience. You're going to hear that's like, oh, I knew somebody. I had the right hookup.
Oh,
that's one of the things that's so nice having about such a
networking is crazy.
Here at UPJ. What is Numerator?
Numerator is a consumer data analytics company, basically.
Okay.
Which is a very short title for everything that Numerator does. I can speak most fluently towards their survey products because that's what I'm in.
What's like a typical kind of thing that where somebody would engage with you on that level?
So we work with all sizes of companies, but my position in particular works with CPG enterprise companies. So I'm currently working with Amazon, Church and Dwight, who owns like Arm & Hammer is their big one. Kimberly-Clark, which does like all of your toilet paper, household products stuff, all of their like little brands. I'm currently working with PepsiCo, Kellogg's cereal, people like that. And then we work with smaller companies. It's a different section of survey. So people, our clients, come to us and they have a business need that they're trying to diagnose. And we guide them in the right direction for the correct product that we have for them. So, for example, I can't really say too much, but say a company comes...
divulge all type of corporate secrets on this podcast.
I signed an NDA.
UPJ got you this job, and UPJ is going to take it away on this podcast.
That's right. But yeah, so they have a business need. They come to us, and we find a survey that fits their need the best. So, for example, I can say Amazon Canada is looking to see how many people buy takeout food based on what they're watching on Amazon Prime. So it's different little things like that. So then for like Kellogg, they're looking to gauge the awareness of halal consumers, so they can put a little halal sticker on mini wheats so people know that it's halal certified. It's very niche things that companies are trying to diagnose and fix in their products, and it's a lot more than just consumer data. We're finding answers and telling stories with numbers and helping our clients, these big companies, in my case, make their products better and more marketable. And we sell it for a chunk of change.
How are the surveys? Like, is it online? Is it
Yeah.
focus groups? Is it
We have a little bit of each.
everything?
So we have new qual, which is quality, quantitative, and then qualitative side. So new qual, and then the survey side that I work with is like the physical numbers, and I use Qualtrics, which you can never think that Qualtrics has the capabilities that it does. It's a machine. It's a beast.
It's insane how deep Qualtrics can actually go.
You think you know about Qualtrics? I thought I knew about Qualtrics from my classes here. You know nothing about Qualtrics. In fact, you know not a thing about Qualtrics. So everything that I use is through Qualtrics. Our instant survey platform, which is like a DIY, like mini custom survey thing. They use a platform called Alchemer. I'm not super familiar with it, but they use Alchemer for custom surveys. We use Qualtrics. We also have a bunch of different like non-survey products that people can use as well for their business needs. So like Laura Johnson works in Promo Intel and works with all of their marketing data for promotions studies, basically. So
It's a lot of information that you're pulling in. And
we have, I would say, 100 to 200 data points on. We just upgraded our survey panel data, like data bank with people, to over 200,000 people. 200 is it 200,000? 200 million it might be, actually. We just did a big jump, and that's US and Canada. And our Canadian panel only just jumped up to like 75,000 from 50,000. And we are the leader in this area. So there are like other competitor companies who have smaller sample sizes or do things way differently than we do. I can proudly say that we have the best data, like consumer data products.
And you can do that all here.
Yeah. I do that all right down the road. And that's, aside from the great products, like I feel like I'm really like selling Numerator right now. They're a great company. And besides from the products that we sell, working there is just so nice. You can work from pretty much wherever. I have unlimited PTO. I have a salary for the first time in my life. Like we're an inclusive company. I'm on the committee for a bunch of employee resource groups. Like you get involved in ways that aren't just your job title and your job description. And they see just as much value in me doing my survey work and me like making like networking events for the Pride ERG, for example.
That's really neat.
Yeah, like they really value the people behind everything that they do. And I was really looking for a company that did that during my job search because it's so important to me, and Disney taught me that. I will admit that. Like they have the formula, Disney does, and Numerator follows it very closely for how to treat your employees like humans and not like machines. Yeah, it's just, I don't think I could go back to working a different way after this.
Well, no, that's a good thing to have in your career. You kind
Yeah.
of have to love what you're doing. And
Yeah.
that's very special to a lot of people who can have that.
And the company that appreciates you and what you do for them.
Yeah.
We have like town halls every month where like you can shout anything out to our CEO and he'll answer it on the spot.
Nice.
Any question. It's great.
The one of the neat things that happened, and I want for listeners of the show, that because we'll promote events and stuff, and we certainly did a long series of promotions for our business reunion. We had Dr. Tim Whistler on the show. That's a great episode. Go back because we talked about British cars with Tim for a while. You got to come and speak as an alum
I did.
to the reunion. What is that phone call like when your alma mater calls up and like, hey, come back and talk?
You start sweating.
Really?
You start sweating
Did
just
it
a
feel
little
like
bit.
Homework?
It did feel, well, kind of, because I was, let me be so real with you. I was under the impression that I would be doing the panel with somebody else. So I was like, okay, I'm proficient.
You may have originally been scheduled to do that. We just kind of had to work it.
No. I was like, okay, you can bounce things. Like, you know what you're talking about. You're proficient in your field. Like, you can really speak on specific things. And you already told them what you couldn't really, like, 100% speak on other than, like, your personal opinions on things. So I was like, okay, you can bounce ideas off of somebody else. And then you are the next day, the night before, you're like, oh, you're the only one. Oh, okay. Cute. I love it. So yeah, you start sweating a little bit, and then you have a great time when you get there because like you're friends with your professors and you know people there, and then you get to meet people, and then you get to go to Woodside with some of your professors after. So it was a lovely time. I had a great time.
Well, that's good. That's what, if anyone who doesn't come out to these events, when David and I talk about them, this is the stuff that you're missing.
Yeah, it's fun.
But yeah, I often kind of wondered what was that, and it's I've done that, but it's been 20 plus years since my experience. So my memory is not that great as it used to be sometimes. But I kind of wondered what that was like for you when you got a call from I think Angela's the one probably called you and said, "Hey, can you come and talk at this thing?" And it's just like,
and I'm like,
homework again.
You take a deep breath, you know. And I know that I'm a lot different than a lot of students whenever it comes to this kind of thing, because a lot of people are just like, okay, I want to get out of here. Like, I did my degree, I'm done. I feel like I'm the opposite in that I want to continue to come back and be a resource for people, to be the Laura Johnson that Madi Walker needed in that moment. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking to do, and it's such a good place to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it felt.
I'll tell you, as somebody who has been down that path too, I remember people who, when I was a student, came back and did stuff, and now I get to do it with you when you were a student, and when my kids in my department and divisions were that kind of experience.
Right.
It's glad to hear that isn't lost, and that there's still folks out there that want to do that.
I feel like it's not common anymore for that sort of thing.
Well, and I feel bad too, and I wonder if part of that is, like you said, you're a generation that literally started with the first quarter of your college experience not having that college experience.
In my childhood bedroom, yeah. It was very weird. So you do feel skunked, and on a very real note, the cost of education is scary right now, and the state of the world is scary right now. So I feel like a lot of people my age have the everybody for himself mentality. But I feel like there are still a couple people, not to like toot my own horn or make myself sound holier than thou. It just feels like if you can come back and do, like, if it's so easy it's convenient for me to come back here and do things with students, current students and other alums and my professors who are now peers. Mm-hmm. It's so easy. Why would you say no? You know what I mean? And you care about.
You jumped at this chance.
Yeah, I was like
which I appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. If you care about the institution that got you to where you are, you, not like you're obligated to, but if it's so convenient for you to come back and do something like this, there's really no choice not to. You know what I mean? Like, it was easy for me to say yes to come here today. So why wouldn't you? And
there's some great opportunities for things. If you don't maybe say I would like to, and I don't know what those are, keep an eye on the social media for whether it's the alumni social media, the department. Mm-hmm. Most of the departments and divisions have their own accounts, including business. Yep. We just did the newsletter. They're doing quarterly newsletters, give or take, to give all kind of good information. Spring term's here, so we're going to be doing the business club forum.
Yep.
I'm sure that'll be coming up. All of these are different things that you can do to get involved and be part of that. Where does your journey go? More education, bigger master's degree, onward, different? promotion upward?
I feel like a mixture of everything. My goal is to go back to Pitt for my master's degree. If it's not Pitt, I don't know if I want to go back. Okay. I mean, if an opportunity came up, I would probably say yes to like a different university, but I really have my heart set on going back to Pitt. Just not 100% sure when. I would like to do one of their dual degrees. They have an MBA and then an MBA, and then separately from the MBA, it's a master's in managerial information systems. And they do a lot of stuff that I'm doing at Numerator, so I feel like it's a good fit. So I'm feeling higher education if the opportunity presents itself within the next 3 to 5 years. But in closer terms of time, we're hoping for a promotion within the next year or so. We'll see. I feel like I've set myself up pretty well for that. And then in the new year, I'll get to do more that would align me with that next movement upwards. And then in terms of long-term plan, we're going to try to go back to Disney at some point. So you get the nearer term, midterm, and then long-term goals right there.
Thinking about the Disney thing, they're completely unrelated to your schedule because that's a really cool plan.
Yeah.
Having now been part of the process, have you been back just to go?
Yeah.
And do you kind of I now know, kind of
yes.
how the sausage, how it's made. It's kind of like a little different experience than.
It's a very interesting experience, and we have been back because my mom is a huge Disney fan. My dad, we've indoctrinated my dad. It's a whole thing. We went back 2 times since doing that, and then we're going back again in September. So it's not going anywhere. But it is really, really nice because...
Do you get to walk through and tell your let me tell you
yes.
what's going on back here. This is that's what this means now.
Yes, whenever we went, it was the January after I came home, and they hadn't had a chance to visit me whenever I worked down there. So I'm walking around Galaxy's Edge, and I'm my break room was right back there. And if you go back that way, this is there. I got to be their insider, little tour guide, especially through Galaxy's Edge. It was great. It was great. Loved it.
That is always going to be fun.
It was so fun.
Madi Walker, thank you for coming and spending time with us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Folks, like I said, if you want to track all the social medias out there, it's listed in the description of the show. Make sure you're hooked up to this stuff. That's how you find out everything that's going on. Yes. And you can be part of the show.
Absolutely.
Have a great week, everybody.
Woo!
The Tuck Shop podcast is recorded live on the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown campus. Update your contact information with us by visiting johnstown.pitt.edu/alumni. Connect with us online via Facebook and LinkedIn, or consider donating to the university at giveto.pitt.edu/giveupj.
This has been a production of Quantum Wave Media. Views expressed do not necessarily reflect the opinion of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown.